Have you ever been curious about the brain but found the information overwhelming? Maybe you wanted to learn more about the brain but didn't know where to start. Well, today is your lucky day because we've got just the book for you. Hi, I'm here to talk to you about a new book, Essential Neuroanatomy, a very approachable introduction to this complex subject. Let's get into it. So let me introduce you to the author of the book, Dr. Patrick Lynch. Dr. Lynch has always been passionate about teaching anatomy. He has taught gross anatomy to hundreds of medical students and currently teaches neuroanatomy to both medical and neuroscience students. And he also has a YouTube channel where he does an amazing job explaining really complex topics in anatomy and neuroscience in a way that is engaging and easy to understand. This book, Essential Neuroanatomy, came out of his desire to make learning about the brain accessible to everyone. So the idea was to create a book that would explain the basic principles of neuroanatomy without overwhelming the reader with too many details. As Dr. Lynch says, there are so many introductory neuroscience books that try to cover everything at once and end up not explaining anything very well. The goal of Essential Neuroanatomy is to provide a clear and understandable overview of the brain and nervous system without getting bogged down into much detail. The book is designed to be an easy read, and it achieves this by breaking down complex information into simple language and avoiding technical jargon as much as possible. For example, instead of using the term cerebellum, which might be a word that a lay person wouldn't be familiar with, the book would say the little brain at the back of your head. Instead of saying dendrite, it would say tree-like structure or neuron. It would call it a cell. And instead of saying synapse, it would say connection. In addition, the book is profusely illustrated with over 270 illustrations, most of them being original artwork commissioned for the book. And these illustrations help the reader visualize the structures and processes that are being discussed, making it easier to understand. But what makes this book unique is the way it approaches the subject matter. Unlike other neuroanatomy books that typically follow a regional approach, meaning they discuss the different parts of the brain separately, Essential Neuroanatomy takes a more functional approach. It begins by discussing the basic principles of neuroanatomy, such as how neurons work and how they are organized into circuits. Then it goes on to describe the major functions of the brain, such as sensation, movement, and cognition, and discusses the parts of the brain that are involved in each function. This approach allows the reader to grasp the big picture of how the brain works before diving into the details of any particular region. And by focusing on function first, this book helps the reader understand why certain structures exist and what purpose they serve, rather than just memorizing their names and locations. Another unique aspect of this book is its coverage of clinical neuroanatomy, which is the study of how diseases and injuries affect the structure and function of the brain. This is an important part of neuroanatomy that is often overlooked in introductory texts, but by including it, this book helps the reader understand how the brain can be affected by various disorders and injuries and also appreciate the resilience of the brain and its ability to recover from damage. The book is divided into 3 sections. Part 1 covers the basic principles of neuroanatomy, including the structure and function of neurons, how neurons are organized into circuits, and the major functions of the nervous system. Part 2 delves deeper into the organization of the nervous system and the functional systems of the brain. This includes the sensory systems, motor systems, and systems involved in cognition, emotion, and behavior. Part 3 explores clinical neuroanatomy and discusses how diseases and injuries can affect the structure and function of the brain. This section also covers the amazing ability of the brain to recover from damage. What's more, this book includes a variety of features designed to engage the reader and help them learn the material more effectively. These features include chapter summaries, learning objectives, key terms, review questions, and additional resources. Each chapter follows the same format. First, there is a brief introduction to the topic, followed by a summary of the main points. This is then followed by the learning objectives for the chapter. Each chapter covers specific learning objectives that are aligned with the overall goals of the book. Key terms are also highlighted throughout the text, and a glossary is provided at the end of the book for quick reference. The chapters are filled with numerous illustrations, and the book also includes a detailed index. Review questions are included at the end of each chapter, and these questions are designed to test the reader's understanding of the material covered in the chapter. Some questions require the reader to apply the knowledge they have learned, while others focus on specific details. Overall, this book provides a comprehensive introduction to neuroanatomy that is both accessible and engaging. Its unique approach to teaching neuroanatomy, its clear and concise writing style, and its stunning illustrations make it an ideal resource for anyone interested in learning about the brain. And if you want to learn more about the brain, we highly recommend checking out this book. You can find more information below. Now let's move on to the next segment. As promised, let's take a look inside this amazing book. First off, the illustrations. They are just incredible. Take this one, for example. It shows the location of gray and white matter in the brain. And check out this one that explains how the brain is protected by bones, membranes, and fluid. These illustrations are just a small sample of what's inside. And trust me, they don't disappoint. Next, let's look at the text. The writing style is incredibly clear and concise. Take this section on reflexes, for example. It explains how reflexes work without using any technical jargon. Even better, it includes a real-life example to help you understand how it all works. And here's another example on memory. It breaks down the process of memory into 3 steps: encoding, storage, and retrieval. And it explains how these steps work together to help us remember things. What's more, it even includes an example to help you understand the concept. Finally, let's take a look at the layout. The book is laid out in a way that makes it easy to read and understand. Each page is filled with lots of white space, which makes it less intimidating to open up and start reading. Plus, the use of color makes it more engaging and easier to follow along. Whether you are a student studying neuroscience or just someone who is interested in learning more about the brain, this book is a must-have. The combination of incredible illustrations, clear and concise writing, and an easy-to-follow layout makes it the perfect book to help you unlock the secrets of neuroanatomy. Alright, so you've probably noticed that there's something missing from this video, and that's you. We want to hear from you, so drop a comment below and tell us what you think about the book. Also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, feel free to share those as well. That's it for this video, folks. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.